So that'll bring me to the next guest. So I'd like to bring in Rob. Rob, are you ready over there? I gave him plenty of time to look at this. He's ready. And I'll be eating some of these chips for sure. Look at that. What we got? Thank you, Christina. Awesome. Beautiful. So you just got some nice compliments from the rabbi.
Yes, I heard. Barry's great.
Barry is great. The rabbi's a good guy. So this is going to be a little bit different in talking about it other than when we were just getting like the historical context from the rabbi, because I don't expect Rob to come up with that, but I wanted to kind of get the opinion of how, I mean, the rabbi sounded like he kind of came in and convinced you to go to the kosher side of things, but you already had this style and this menu preparation in mind, because now you've got 3 restaurants we're going to end up talking about.
Right, we have 3, the Garden Grill, Wildflower, and the Grange on the west side on Broadway.
So which one was the first restaurant?
First restaurant was the Garden Grill.
Okay. So how, they all mimic each other in the style of the menu, correct?
No, actually, they're all different.
Okay,
The
so
Garden
tell us-
Grill, the original, is more of a comfort food restaurant. The Wildflower is a vegan bakery, juice bar, and coffee bar. And the Grange was conceived more of a more higher concept vegetarian menu. We have a cocktail bar, so it was more of like more of like going out at dinner at nighttime, kind of an event sort of a place.
So, but with that theme, that kind of, there is a theme in there about the vegan and all of that.
Right.
Now, are you vegan yourself?
I am vegetarian.
You're vegetarian, okay.
Right.
So the menu style to you had to be something that had a personal touch when you developed the restaurants to do this.
Yeah, the original with the Garden Grill, it started out as a fast food vegetarian burger, wrap and salad place, and that needed to evolve to be more. I talked to customers, and we eventually got more elevated food, entrees. Originally, we were a counter service, and then we went to full service. The bakery is the only one that's vegan. No dairy products, no eggs. They're all kosher. And the Grange, which is the last one we started in 2014, is a much more larger plates, higher concept, very different. They were intentionally made to be very different from each other, so they don't mimic each other in any way.
Okay, yeah, no, absolutely, you can see that when you go into them and know them. So let's talk about menus. You brought 2 beautiful dishes here today, and I have to say, I mean, I go to the Grange because I like the bar, and I have great friends that are vegetarian that go there, and I definitely want to get into the atmosphere of the Grange because it's beautiful and it's, in my mind, unique. But let's talk about what you brought today. What do you
So
got?
what we brought today, for the Jewish community that love Reubens, we made a vegetarian Reuben out of smoked carrots, Swiss cheese, and Russian dressing. Very traditional Reuben sandwich, but instead of meat, we use smoked carrots
Awesome.
that we smoke, and then they're served with chips and pickles. So this is your typical New York style deli, vegetarian style Reuben sandwich.
And it's beautiful, Mike, and it smells good too. It's making me hungry.
And over here we have probably our most popular dish. It's a small appetizer. It's the cauliflower with an Asian garlic spicy sauce on it with peanuts. And then this is a carrot dog with a seaweed slaw and a remoulade sauce on it.
Beautiful. Now, you've got a good-sized menu at the Grange. I mean, it's
Yeah.
There's no lack of variety to choose from at the Grange.
Right. So what we do at the Grange is every day you can go 9 o'clock on, and it's brunch. There's a lot of vegan items. We do serve eggs and we serve cheese, but the menu is very eclectic. So there's a lot of Asian influence, American style barbecue influence. So it's very, and it changes season. The thing about the Grange, probably more so than the others, is that everything is really tried to be sourced from Rhode Island. John Dilley, who's the head chef, is very strict and adamant about only seasonal and only from the local area, New England, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. And that's really the Grange's whole, I mean, all of them are about community and the local economy, but the Grange, more so because of John Dilley, is we do a lot with farm fresh Rhode Island.
Yeah, and I've had an opportunity to talk to the chef about that, and I think we've covered that a lot over the months here about sourcing locally and
Right.
what it means. And at first it was kind of this trend, and then it became a real thing where people really felt involved in it and passionate about it. But I think that, from what I've learned about your group and the chef, is that you guys kind of take it a little bit of a step farther. I mean, you've got community events that benefit
Yeah.
some of these farms. I mean, Farm Fresh is fantastic, and we've said lots of great things about them, but You guys seem to be a little bit bigger of a partner in that, and you're mentioning that the chef has a lot to do with that.
Right.
Can you tell me a little about some of those other events that you've done? Because I mean, it's great what you've been able.
Well, one thing we do at the Grange, well, every year, we're very connected with Southside Community Land Trust, which is a local group that supports urban farming. And they have their whole program based around creating an economy based on inner city and urban farms. And so we do a lot of support for them every year. We have fundraisers for them. They're one of the, we try to give to groups that help people have better nutrition, get fresh food to people into areas that have a hard time getting it. So the Grange is very strong on that. At the other businesses, we have what's called Mindful Mondays,
Okay.
where we donate a portion of our proceeds, 5% of our sales, to local charities and local groups.
Really?
Yeah.
5%?
5% of our sales
That's
on
awesome.
Mondays.
That's awesome.
So it's part of our whole mission, which is about community. And so through plant-based food, we're using it as a way to strengthen community, make communities like healthier food, healthier choices. And we've found that over the years, like there's this huge community between all three of our restaurants that has grown around a plant-based diet.
Right. And I think that that's, again, goes to your evolution. The fact that you have 3 restaurants, but to your evolution of giving back what you've done is that the community has supported you. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very rare that I go into the Grange, which is, I'm on Federal Hill a lot, so that's the one I stop at the most, and that you're not busy. That it's a
Yeah.
great, vibrant atmosphere of what you've got going on, and the
Yeah.
clientele dinner. And you've got, I know it's dinner 7 days a week, right?
We do dinner, it's 7 days a week, 9 o'clock till close. Yeah, the Grange was designed, it's very different than the other restaurants, the interior design of the Grange. The intention was to make it feel when you walk in, that you walked into a restaurant that had been there for 100 years. So everything you see when you walk into that restaurant is repurposed. A lot of from jewelry factories, textile factories in Fall River, tables, benches. Above the bar, we have lights from, factories. So we wanted to give a very old, local feel to it.
There's parts of the restaurant that when you're sitting down, you just feel like you're sitting on someone's home.
Right.
And that's the comfort level that you've
Yeah,
provided.
we,
to give
we
it.
have swinging benches.
Right, yeah,
which
it's just,
is fun.
it's a lot of fun. You've done a great job. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So, in talking about getting to the Hanukkah preparations and the Hanukkah celebrations, with the style that you have, are any of the establishments, are people able to place orders, take home for catering, parties, that kind of stuff at any of the restaurants?
Well, Wildflower at the bakery, we do the most. The restaurants, it's more challenging, and especially with vegetarian or vegan food, takeout doesn't last as long. But we do some takeout platters, but not on a very large scale. That's
Okay.
not something we promote.
But you're open during the whole Hanukkah celebration.
We're open during the whole. We're actually putting a few items on the menu to celebrate Hanukkah. John's doing a vegan chicken matzo ball soup, and also he's doing a latkes. I think
Yeah,
Barry
yeah,
talked
he's talking
about the potato
latke.
pancakes.
Yeah.
So we're doing potato latkes. They're probably going to change, from one week to the other as the holiday goes along. But the vegan chicken soup with matzo balls and latkes, in celebration of Hanukkah.
So 8 days it's a great celebration. Again, like I said, anytime I can have 8 days to eat and drink, I'm going to be a very happy person. To have those type of things and do that to support your community again is fantastic. And I know in talking to, again, Susan de Blasio, who helped me refer a lot of my guests, she was very complimentary of the fact that you do change up the menu to do that and kind of add those
Sure.
additions during that time frame. The process that you went through that the rabbi was speaking about earlier about becoming kosher is that it seemed, and we kind of had this conversation, offline, with about vegetarian or vegan restaurants, it's a little easier for that
Right.
process.
Yeah, naturally
It's natural.
Right.
It's natural,
Sure.
kind of a natural process to it. But when you went through the process with the rabbi, was it something that you just felt was like the next step because you didn't have it at first, right? So was it kind of? It sounds like Barry came in your kitchen and said, "This is what you're going to do," and it was awesome to know that. Though.
He had to sell it to me. I mean, it was a little bit of a sell on Barry's part, and but Barry. I mean, you saw him. Barry is very endearing. So I sat down with him one day, and he says, "Look, we'll go through this process. It'll be okay." And he calmed me down, and so But then I realized that offering kosher is perfectly aligned with our mission, which is strength is like about community.
Right.
And there's a whole, I never really looked at it because I'm not kosher, I didn't look at it from the point of view of if you're kosher, you don't really have anywhere to go out and hang out with friends. So to like offer places or through restaurants where they could go out was actually all in line with our mission, which actually started in 1971 with our first business. We had a juice bar and organic natural food market back then. It's always been about building community and strengthening through healthy food.
So you just said 1971, so you've been at this a while now.
I've been serving carriages to the east side for 41 years, yes.
41 years you've been serving characters.
Yeah.
So this is in your blood at this point, about being in the restaurant business and serving the hospitality side of things.
Yeah, I mean, it was my mother, my grandmother was a raw food vegan. My mother opened up one of the first natural food markets in Providence, the Golden Sheaf. We had a juice bar there, bulk grains, organic grains, groceries, and produce. And so I helped her open. I was 17 years old. So I worked there. I worked the juice bar. That was down on Main Street,
Yep,
right near where EXO is.
yep, yep.
And so ever since then, I've been serving carrot juice here.
So this tradition and this giving back to the community during the Hanukkah, so during the 12th to the 20th, I got that right, the 8 days of Hanukkah there. Is there things that you guys that do that are different to let people know that you're bringing this stuff in? I mean, is it busier than normal because people realize that it's kosher and they can come in and enjoy it for you?
There are some nights, I mean, Sunday nights are very busy. We've noticed that. But I mean, just in general with the kosher community,
Right.
it's sort of their Saturday night
Really?
because of the Sabbath.
Okay, that's true. Okay.
So, well, it depends on what time of year because of the sun going down.
Right.
But we're not really, we just do what we do, but then we do change the menu to accommodate, what's going on, at any particular time.
So we talked about how you've been at this a long time and you're giving back, and you've had growth. I mean, the Grange on Federal Hill is 2014, is that correct?
2014.
2014. So
96 was the Garden Grill. 2010 was Wildflower Vegan Bakery, and the Grange was in 2014.
So you've done some amazing things. Now we've got some news, some things that we were talking about offline, about some changes that you've got coming to one of the businesses, right?
Yes, there'll be some expansion at one of our businesses pretty soon. We'll be starting construction in around end of January, February. And Wildflower will be expanding.
Excellent. We're getting cheers in the back. There's some big fans of Rob's restaurants here. So,
and we're going to be increasing the offerings we have of like takeout, prepared foods. That's a big thing we're going to be doing. Offering more things on tap, kombucha, nitro, and just having seating for 50, 55, 60 people. So we want to create a space that can fit a larger community. We're going to have like a table for kids and, just make it a place people just want to hang out and have fun.
so that, I mean, again, you're making a commitment by growing this business.
Sure.
You're again giving back, and it's no big deal to make a commitment these days. It's a hard thing to do, especially in this business, no matter how long you've been in it, to continue to do this.
Well, it's a growing, I find that vegan and vegetarian, like most people, are eating less meat and more plant-based than they used to. You don't have to be vegetarian. Most of our customers are not vegetarian.
Really?
No, most of our customers, they eat some seafood. A lot of them, they eat meat, and this is just another choice.
So it's kind of like the healthier lifestyle of right.
Yeah, they're integrating plant-based foods more than they used to they're just being mindful and aware of it and conscious of it.
So that's kind of an interesting segue to kind of, before I let you get out of here, is that your staff, and I know the chef, just in the few times I've had the conversation with him, just like you're doing now, has educated me on stuff. Is your staff kind of aware and trained to that? Are they all in their own right of either being vegan or vegetarian about how they educate people? Because I got to say, when I went in, I had questions. I absolutely had questions
Right.
about what to have and what to eat and what to try,
Mhm.
besides what my companion was that was educating me while I was sitting there with him. But is that something your staff does on a pretty regular basis? Because I think that would help with the expansion of people understanding and eating more.
Yeah, a lot of our staff have been with us for 10 years, 12 years, 8 years. We have very long time staff. So over the years, they just know, and they've been accustomed to like the foods, the ingredients. But I mean, just like the general public, our staff is a reflection of everybody.
Right.
So we don't have a staff full of vegetarians and vegans. We do have, there are vegans and vegetarians that really want to work with us, especially in the kitchen part, because they don't want to cook,
Right, they don't
meats
want to be
and-
in another kitchen doing something that's
Exactly.
kind of against what they're ingrained to do. You guys also complement it with your cocktail list, your wines, your
Right.
beers. I mean, you've got a great selection at the bar to go with it. And that's
Right.
another thing that I did find the staff knowledgeable with. So when you're going out to prepare for these Hanukkah celebrations and you're going to join him over at the Grange or stopping in the other restaurants, you do have a great team that can make the experience even more memorable. So
Thank you.
congratulations to you on the things that you've done, and thank you for educating us not only on what Barry got you to do with the kosher side of things, but how people can enjoy Hanukkah and celebrate it and
Right.
prepare these things, because it's important. It's a growing list, as the rabbi said, there's a growing list of you, but there's not a lot
Right.
out there, so the fact that you're there is a great thing.
How
So
can you say no to the rabbi?
I know, I'm learning
Come
this,
on.
I'm absolutely learning this,
You're
so.
messing with us.
So, thank you so much for coming in
Okay,
today,
you bet.
congratulations again, and enjoy Hanukkah.
Okay.
I might be
Thank you very
chowing on
much.
those chips if they save me any when I get off the air.
I'll
They
make
looked,
sure
they
they-
looked amazing. All right, so two great people back and forth, two different versions and two different things of how to celebrate Hanukkah and how to prepare for it. And again, great